In this chapter, we will explore the powers of the federal government, including enumerated and implied powers, as well as limits on federal government powers. All right, so when we talk about implied powers, we're basically referring to those powers that the federal government needs to get things done, even if they're not specifically listed in the Constitution. These powers give the government the flexibility to handle new situations without having to constantly change the Constitution. Implied powers are essential for the federal government to effectively carry out its functions without the need for constant amendments to the Constitution. These powers provide flexibility and adaptability to address various situations and challenges that may arise. For instance, the power to create a national bank is considered an implied power necessary for managing the nation's finances efficiently. This allows the government to adjust to changing economic conditions without requiring a constitutional amendment each time a new financial institution is needed. Another example is Congress's ability to regulate interstate commerce, even though it is not explicitly granted in the Constitution. This power is crucial for ensuring a smooth flow of goods and services between states, addressing trade disputes, and promoting fair competition among businesses operating across state lines. In summary, implied powers play a vital role in enabling the federal government to function effectively by providing the necessary flexibility and adaptability to address various challenges without the need for constant constitutional amendments. The examples of implied powers discussed in this slide highlight how the federal government has utilized powers not explicitly outlined in the Constitution to effectively govern the country. The creation of the National Bank by Alexander Hamilton, the establishment of executive orders by the President, and the formation of the Air Force all demonstrate how the government has adapted to meet the evolving needs of society. These examples show that implied powers play a crucial role in allowing the government to address new challenges and effectively carry out its duties, even when specific powers are not explicitly granted in the Constitution. This flexibility in interpretation has been a right to freedom of speech and expression. Interstate commerce is a key component of the U.S. economy, enabling the seamless movement of goods and services between states. It fosters business expansion, enhances consumer choice, and drives economic growth and competition. Interstate commerce is crucial for promoting economic growth and competition. It allows businesses to freely sell their goods and services across state lines, reaching a larger market and increasing their potential for growth. This free flow of goods and services fosters healthy competition as companies can access a wider customer base and offer competitive prices. Moreover, interstate commerce plays a significant role in creating jobs, driving innovation, and boosting productivity in the overall economy. By enabling businesses to operate efficiently across state lines, interstate commerce contributes to the prosperity of the nation. Judicial review is a cornerstone of constitutional law, empowering the judiciary to assess the constitutionality of laws and government actions. It acts as a vital mechanism to ensure that the branches of government adhere to the principles outlined in the Constitution. All right, class. Today we're diving into the taxing power of the federal government. This authority allows the government to collect taxes from individuals and businesses to fund essential public services and programs like national defense and social welfare initiatives. It's a crucial tool for maintaining the functioning of our government and society as a whole. The taxing power is a crucial aspect of the federal government's authority to levy taxes on individuals and businesses to generate revenue for public services and programs. This power enables the government to fund essential functions such as national defense, infrastructure development, and social welfare programs. Without sufficient funding from taxes, the government would struggle to maintain a strong defense system, invest in infrastructure projects like roads and public transportation, and support social welfare programs that provide assistance to vulnerable populations. Ultimately, the taxing power plays a vital role in contributing to the overall functioning and well-being of society. In the context of the taxing power, we can see various examples that showcase how taxation is utilized by the federal government. One key example is the implementation of income taxes, corporate taxes, and excise taxes by the IRS, which are crucial for funding government operations and programs. Another significant instance is the Affordable Care Act's individual mandate, which the Supreme Court deemed a valid exercise of the taxing power. This mandate required individuals to either get health insurance or face a tax penalty, highlighting how taxation can influence behavior and achieve policy objectives. Additionally, the imposition of tariffs on imported goods is another demonstration of the taxing power in action. Tariffs serve to protect domestic industries from foreign competition and generate revenue for the government, illustrating how taxation can be used for economic protectionism and revenue generation. All right, class, today we're diving into the spending power of the federal government. This authority allows the government to allocate funds for important national priorities like infrastructure, healthcare, education, and defense. It's a crucial tool in shaping the country's budget and addressing key issues. In this slide, we delve into specific examples of how the federal government exercises its spending power. One key area is the allocation of funds for social security, which provide crucial financial assistance to retired and disabled individuals, forming a vital part of the social safety net in the United States. Additionally, the government funds programs like Medicare and Medicaid, offering healthcare coverage to millions, especially the elderly and low-income individuals. Another significant use of spending power is seen in transportation infrastructure projects, where funds are allocated for the construction and maintenance of roads, bridges, and public transit systems to enhance mobility and support economic growth. Military defense spending is also a major focus, with a substantial portion of the budget dedicated to safeguarding national security interests. Lastly, federal grants to states for education and public health initiatives empower states to address key priorities like improving school infrastructure and tackling public health challenges, showcasing how the federal government leverages its spending power to promote social welfare and community well-being. The treaty power is a crucial tool that allows the federal government to make agreements with other countries. These treaties can cover a wide range of issues like trade, security, and human rights, and once ratified by the Senate, they become legally binding in the United States. This means that treaties can override conflicting state laws and regulations, shaping both international relations and domestic policy. For example, NAFTA governs trade relations between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, impacting their economies. Moreover, treaties can also address global issues such as climate change, nuclear proliferation, and human rights, like the Paris Agreement combating climate change. In essence, the treaty power is a vital aspect of the federal government's authority, influencing international relations and domestic policies significantly. In this slide, we delve into examples of the treaty power of the federal government. The United States has engaged in various treaties like the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, for collective defense, allowing mutual defense among member countries in case of an attack. The Paris Agreement on Climate Change is another significant treaty aimed at combating climate change by setting targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The Geneva Conventions, on the other hand, establish standards for the humanitarian treatment of individuals during armed conflicts, providing protections for prisoners of war and civilians. Additionally, trade agreements such as the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, fall under the treaty power of the federal government, regulating trade relations between countries and impacting their economies. These examples highlight the diverse ways in which the treaty power is utilized by the federal government in various international agreements. All right, class. In this chapter, we covered the powers of the federal government. We discussed implied powers, interstate commerce, taxing power, spending power, and treaty power. all of which are essential for understanding the scope of federal authority. In this chapter, we delved into the powers of the federal government, including implied powers, interstate commerce, taxing power, spending power, and treaty power. Understanding these powers is crucial for grasping the scope and limitations of federal authority. Thank you for your attention. Any questions? Understanding the powers of the federal government is essential in navigating the complexities of constitutional law. Remember, the Constitution is a dynamic document that changes with society, so always question and strive to comprehend its implications. Thank you for your attention.